The reason I wanted to, I thought about it last night while I was on the ice because I had two groups where I did similar things,
Mhm.
and one was a junior group. So some guys going to college, some guys they're good, they're good hockey players, pretty good. And then the next session was kids that are in their OHL draft year.
Mhm.
Okay, so as I'm doing things, I like to look and there's things that stand out to me that shows why guys will never make it and why some guys do. And these aren't drills. Like I'm not coming out with magic drills here. These are two drills that I made up on my own because I wanted to. Because when I do a lot of skill drills and stuff, I like to make them game situational, game transferable. Okay. So as I'm doing these, it's like the fundamental basics, the fundamental. Sorry,
Still it up. Yeah, thanks.
yeah, the fundamental basics. If you don't do these things, then it doesn't matter. All the tips in the world.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to grab my board.
Yep. Perfect.
Real simple drill, but I'm going to show you. There's a lot of details in this. Okay, so it's an offensive drill, but don't be mistaken. The habits and everything in here can be used for defensemen.
Yep.
So it's just simple. I rim a puck to this guy. He's on the wall. All right. So this is a soft skill.
Yep.
The reason that I like to do drills like this is because people don't work on that enough. Whereas in a game, how many pucks, if you're a winger or a defenseman, how many pucks do you get along the wall? Tons.
Yeah, tons. Yeah.
So by working this habit. So the next thing of this is this guy needs to fake as it. So he's picking up the puck off the wall, faking like one step or a head fake, and then driving to the corner. And then we're going to come back and you can make a decision what you're going to do with the puck there.
Yeah. So sorry. So for people that are just listening and don't watch, you got a guy on the hash marks in the ozone, another guy set up behind the net.
Yeah.
You rim a puck to the guy behind the net. He does a fake when he picks that puck up and then goes the other way to the opposite corner.
Yeah.
And then does a turn.
Right.
Okay.
Now, at the next, as this guy rims the puck to the guy behind the net, he's busting his ass as hard as he can to mirror the puck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an offensive thing.
So the guy that did the rim flying across.
Yeah, he's flying across because it's like basically a 2-man offensive drill.
Yep.
Okay, so he gets there. So the details of this is I want him to get on the strong side. So let me explain that. Hang on. So he's mirroring this guy. This guy can come behind the net. He can handle the puck here. He can stop. He can come back around. The purpose so you're working on skill stuff here, and then this guy is mirroring the puck. So he's in a shooting position.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Good.
And so let's say he goes here, comes back, gives him the puck, he shoots. The next part of the drill is the shooter now. We're going to lay a puck down in the corner. This shooter's got to hustle, grab a puck. That passer has to get in the honey hole hard. So it's for the second shot out. So that he can go up, down, whatever.
Yep.
Okay. Got it?
Got it.
So here's where the flaws are. Typically, what happens is this guy, the second guy, the support guy, lollygags, takes his time, doesn't really understand the point of hustling. Okay? Or they go to the wrong spot. They spend a lot of time when they go to where all the traffic is.
Yeah.
Deep or just where all the defenders are. Okay? So it's not like they're bad people. It's just not a good habit.
Yep.
So my point to this is we need to see this guy going as hard as he can to that side. Okay? Because when you play at a high level, if you're not moving as hard as you can to open areas or to get puck support, you've made the defensive side of the game easy. They don't have to skate as hard.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yep.
So understanding that little thing right there is huge. Yeah? The other thing is that what happens in a game too is this is why you have to be hustling your ass off. Because at some point, if this guy, let's say he goes to curl and just in the drill alone, guys would bobble pucks and it would be here.
Yeah, with no pressure. Yeah.
There's no pressure. So in a game, there is pressure. So the second part of that is being a good player is if you take your time and just wait for things, that loose puck is not yours anymore. You're not even close.
Yep.
So now you're not helping your team at all. So this is what I'm talking about playing without the puck. This is just one stupid drill.
Yep.
Okay? So now you're in a position, if you lollygag here, take your time. If it recovers from the other team recovers and they start getting it out. Now you're underneath the puck, and now you got to back check hard,
That's right.
right?
Yep.
So now the other part is getting that spot so you can be open for a pass.
Right.
Now, once you shoot, the next skill you're working on is getting rid of pucks quickly, accurately and quickly, which is like game situation. All right. After you shoot, you're forechecking again. So again, it's amazing how many guys just go at a
Float.
certain pace, and how this guy comes out as a certain pace, and it's not the way you're supposed to be. So put the board down now. So the point of this is, I've during the sessions yesterday, just with that one drill, is we went over how to take a puck off a rim, how to get it open spaces fast, and then you'll see the guy that's making the passes, like they just hope that it goes to the right spot, so the passes aren't accurate. So it's like real skills that they don't pay a lot of attention to. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is, if for the guy that's the support guy, when he comes across hard, what happens is when this guy's got the puck and making plays, you're already basically there or close to it, so he can see you. You've given this guy time to make a play,
Right.
right? If you're lollygagging, then this guy's got to guess, look over his shoulders. He doesn't see it yet. So if you make that option quicker, you make his life easier.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can get a play back or whatever.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was explaining to the guys that when you play, so if they went out and did that drill as hard as they possibly can to get to open space as hard as you can, the guys that you're playing against, the defenders, will have to work their ass off. You're going to just outwork them, because no one likes to work that hard. So when you're playing, if I have the puck, I would rather have someone take their time and be patient getting to me, rather than someone playing hard on me and taking away time and space. It's obvious,
Right.
right? So that's what. But for kids to understand that, it's like, wow.
Yes.
Some kids refuse to understand it, and then some kids just don't have the desire to work that hard.
Yep.
And there is your basic for hockey. You have to outwork people. So there's the whole thing without a puck, with a puck, some soft skills in there that shows you 100% what type of player a player is.
Yep, absolutely. So two things. First, I'll go with from the player side. I said this in a podcast before, is kids don't think of practice as training. They don't think that they're training during practice. They think I don't know what they think. It's like practice is just, I'm going to skate with my team because that's what we do. So when you set that drill up, from the player perspective, a lot of kids will just say, okay, yeah, I can work on my stick handling a little bit when I get the puck.
Yeah.
Get the puck off the wall, I get that, get a pass, and then the guy's like, all right, I'm practicing my shot in this drill. And that was like the perimeter purpose of that drill for you, the way you just explained it, right? So as players, you need to, if you don't have a coach that can explain that to you, those other soft skills that you're talking about, because that is actually the point of what that drill is. It's not the pass and the shot. It's actually everything else is the point of that drill. But if you don't have a coach that can explain that to you, then it's a good skill to have as a player to be able to pick those things out of drills. Pick those little things out of the drill that you could do to develop those soft skills, because the soft skills are actually what happens in the game, especially when you don't have the puck.
Yeah,
it's
well,
all
that's what
right?
makes the difference between a guy that plays and doesn't.
Right. The guy that can get to an open area quickly, that's the difference between maybe 1 shot per game and 7 shots per game.
Yeah.
Just because you can get into a spot quickly and get it off quickly.
Yep.
So that's one thing. Now from the coach's side, you have to be able to explain that to your guys. So for people that just watch that drill, or coaches that just watch that drill and say, oh, I'm going to do that at my practice, whatever, that's fine. It's a good drill. But you have to be able to explain the point of the drill if you want it to be executed correctly, right?
Yes.
So I love when you do that drill too, because it's such a good drill. But the kids that can figure that out and do the practice properly, do the reps properly where they're actually moving, just by default, you'll start to do it in a game just because you're ingraining the pattern, like busting across the ice quickly, right?
Well, that's the whole point.
Right.
That's why I said it's like also good for your D zone. And it's like, well, how could that be good for D zone? Because you're shooting pucks on your own net. Is that what's going on? No. If you just look at the principle of the drill, is to get on in open spaces and loose pucks as hard as you can. So
Yeah.
you just flip the page.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So now
Ingrain the habit.
you're
Yeah.
doing a defenseman doing that drill. It's the same thing. You're still getting as hard as you can to loose pucks in open areas. And the kids that understand how to do that extremely hard is are the kids that have a chance to move on.